Hey folks, it's Matt once again. What about in the video is another paid request. This time from it's from Masi, M-A-S-I. Sorry if I mispronounced it. Masi. Can you react to the Exorcist Believer trailer, and are you looking forward to the movie this Halloween? Now, probably by the time you see this, I'm probably going to do a stream tonight. So there'll probably be people ask me about it. I'll be like, I'll have a video up soon about maybe give some thoughts. I thought I had seen the trailer because there's a bunch of trailers popping up that said Exorcist Believer. I'm like, they all look generic, so I just assumed, yeah, I saw it. But probably this is the true trailer because it's from Universal Pictures. From the director of Halloween 2018 and Halloween Ends and Halloween Endgame, or whatever the hell it was called. Halloween Kills and Halloween Ends and Halloween Loses and Halloween Fails and Halloween Sucks. David Gordon Green, the new idiot of horror. The Exorcist. So they stick with the Believer title. Wow, I thought they changed that because they thought it sounded stupid, but okay, Exorcist, I want to believe. Exorcist, I'm a believer. Alright, here we go. I can't show the video because YouTube will get mad at me for doing it. I know other people do it and they get away with it, but if I do it, YouTube gets mad at me. So, don't ask me why. But the Universal Pictures, 3 minutes and 2 seconds. And for those who want to request any type of reviews, topics, reactions, commentaries, randomness, you feel free to send it either directly to my PayPal or join my Patreon. PayPal is usually the best bet. Links are down below in the info box under most of these videos. So let's start. 3, 2, 1, pressing play. So we have a family. So 2 families, 2 daughters. This time was 2 girls possessed. It's like a sequel of 2 Girls, 1 Cup. 2 girls, 1 possessed. So they've been found and they're dirty as hell. They've been gone a few days, but I think it's been a few hours. Oh shit! Fuck is that weird noise? Oh, they almost got the tubular bells. Yeah, I didn't say shit. Go to bed. I didn't say shit! Right, they're looking at mirrors. They're having a schism. They must have seen the Flash. They keep teasing the tubular bell stuff. Oh my god, a girl is walking outside and she's bloody. Right, she had her period. Fantastical pandemonium. That's her first period. Hey, is that supposed to go in your face? The up close. It's just so fucking more funny than anything. It's like, fuck you. It's like a dog trying to yip at you. So it still has a hard on for Reagan. If that's the case, I'm surprised Linda Blair isn't in this. Ellen Burstyn looked like she's 102 years old. Oh my god, she's eating newspaper. Should be shitting out the one ad. I'm not scared. So does this devil Pazuzu just love possessing girls that look like Radian? But she also possesses a black girl as well. This time it's 2. Just if it was 1 it'd be the same movie, but because it's 2, it's entirely different. Connect the cuts, right? Connect the cuts. They're being in sync. Which song is it? I want it that way. Okay, they're tied to a chair, and they went, ah, die. What's scary about that? They tied to a chair and went, ah, do need a bee. What the fuck is that? What is this shit? 15 million views in a matter of a few days. This looks like any amount of generic in one ear, out the other, fucking stupid ass possession films. I mean, let's be honest, like, I'm not the right guy for this. I only like the third film. The Exorcist 3 with George C. Scott and Brad Dourif is the only film in that franchise I like. I honestly found the first one pretty boring, but I can respect what he was trying to do, the technical aspects, the acting by Max von Sydow and others. I can at least respect it, I just not big on it. The second one is pathetic, sometimes very funny in patheticness. The ones with Rennie Harlan and then the other guy, and there was the same films, and they redid it, whether it be The Beginning or Dominion. It's an interesting curiosity piece to see how the same film is done in two different ways. But I wouldn't call them good movies. And there's been such a gluttony of these type of films, whether it be Insidious films, The Conjuring films, Haunting Connecticut, hell, some I like, Deliver Us from Evil. I enjoyed that one. The Exorcism of Emily Rose, The Devil Inside, my ass. There's been so many of these type of movies. That's why I said the Connect the Cuss, like that Devil Inside movie. There's been those, The Last Exorcism, and its sequel, The Last Exorcism 2. There's been a gluttony of these, all the films based on the Conjuring universe, and stuff like The Nun. And how many movies have we had where it's a vengeful spirit, or vengeful ghost, or the person's possessed, and they go into conniption fit, and they get into a corner, or they do weird, at this point, funny faces, laughable faces to the fucking camera, or the goddamn Cookie Monster trying to get you. David Gordon Green is a terrible horror director. He may have directed some decent stuff outside of that in terms of comedy. That's more his forte. Horror is not his forte. Well, they made money. You know what? By that logic, that's like saying Jar Carpenter's The Thing is a bad movie because it flopped in 1982. Does that mean, is that the opposite? Does the opposite work? If it doesn't make money, that automatically means it's a bad movie? So you're saying John Carpenter's The Thing is a bad movie, by that logic. If it makes money, so it's good, that means if it doesn't make money, it's bad? Making money doesn't matter. Making money is based on marketing tactics. People go see it because it's bored. They're bored. They need something to do on a Friday, Saturday, Sunday night. Doesn't automatically mean it's good or bad because of how much money it makes. I think his Halloween trilogy was garbage. I did not like a single one of them. I guess Linda Blair, someone told me she's a technical consultant. For what? How to do demon faces? How to masturbate with a crucifix? Well, you do a little bit left instead of right. There's too much chafing. What kind of technical consulting are you doing? This is how you puke. You puke this way instead of that. This stuff is done because we run out of ideas. We want to bring in either, I would say nostalgia, but I think there's also a case of what IP do we have? And we see that the Conjuring films have had their own universe, and some more successful than others. What IP do we have that we can milk dry, or try to milk dry? Halloween films, we got to milk out a new trilogy, and we made a lot of money. Can we do this for other properties? Sooner or later, you don't have Nightmare on Elm Street come back. Sooner or later, once they get everything settled, I know they're doing the TV show, Crystal Lake, but sooner or later, the Friday the 13th is going to be fixed up, they'll do that. They'll do more shit. Because they need to melt it dry. Every drop of out of the titty. If I watched the trailer, you know what you did? Okay, one family's black. Good for being progressive. Get some progressive insurance. I don't give a shit. It's two girls. I know I made the lame joke. I'll make the lame joke again. Seen Two Girls, One Cup? Two Girls, One Possession. Maybe this is a weird sequel to that. They just save all the nasty stuff when you see the movie. So they go missing. Okay? Then they get found. And they're dirty as hell. And they've lost track of time. And they hear voices. I mean, even stuff like Amityville 2, The Possession, and what was that one that is based on a true story about the first trial that dealt with possession? Kevin Bacon was in a TV movie. They kind of took that story, they made it into The Conjuring 3 as well. My point is, there's been a gluttony of these type of fucking films. A gluttony. God. It's fucking bullshit. And I'm sitting there going, what is the point? Well, I know what the point of this, I keep saying what the point, but we all know what the point. The point is to make money, to create a franchise. Because again, what is successful? That's always been the business. That's why it's called show business. What's the business of making money? It always comes back to that. Especially nowadays when they're much more desperate. I mean, let's be honest. I don't want to make sure the person asked, am I looking forward to it at Halloween? No, I'm not. Unless it was a paid request. That's the only reason I say the only reason I would see this movie is if it was a paid request. Otherwise, no, there's no reason for me to see it. Because nothing about this looks that interesting. Okay, for those who are really into it, for those before you get mad, what is it about this specific trailer that you're curious about? I guess if you're a big fan of Ellen Burstyn and you want to see her again, okay, I guess that's the only thing I could think of. I guess. Or, hey, we need to see a horror film. And, hey, we brought back Jamie Lee Curtis for the new Halloween films. The actress had passed away, so we couldn't bring her back, but we brought the character back for Texas Chainsaw Massacre, that last one on Netflix. Bringing a bit of nostalgia for you old school fans, but then hopefully the new audience will get scared or creeped out or whatever, even though everything about you looks generic as hell. Dead animals. A girl walking up and her dress is bloody. So, I mean, what crazy, shocking, horrific things are you thinking you're going to see in this? Not much. They're not going to, I mean, back in the day, you could go risky and try to do masturbation with a crucifix and all this other stuff. And then it wasn't every day that you saw that. And so that would, I could understand at the time people being freaked out, go, oh my God. But what is going to make this any amount of different? And I like The Conjuring. I didn't mind The Conjuring 2. I like Deliverance from Evil. It's not that I hate every single one of these films, but it's been done to death. If I type in exorcism movies, if I literally type that shit out. Pray for the Devil, which I reviewed. The Exorcism of God, The Pope's Exorcist, The Crucifixion, The Possession, The Devil Inside My Ass, The Rite, remember that with Anthony Hopkins? The Nun, The Vatican Tapes, Incarnate, which was a disappointing one with Aaron Eckhart, The Offering, Deliver Us, The Exorcist File, The Atticus Institute, Chronicles of Exorcism. Let's get more films like Repossessed with fucking Leslie Nielsen and Linda Blair. Comedy exorcism films. One of the best bits is in Scary Movie 2 when James Woods comes into the room, looks at it and says, fuck this, and leaves. Let's have more of those. Because that would feel more refreshing than this, than what I just saw. What is unique? What is interesting? What is scary? This is a horror film. What about this trailer creeped you out? What about this trailer scared you? What about this story makes you go, wow, that's an interesting direction? The fact there's only 2 instead of 1? Is that really all it takes? Makes me wonder, because this is supposed to be a trilogy. What, is the next one going to be a whole town gets possessed? And then the third one is the entire fucking country gets possessed, and it becomes like a virus. It becomes a kind of bid on the nose, on the C to the O to the VID, and how we act as a culture. And while they're acting as possessed, and then Linda Blair comes in, and she's the ultimate exorcist, or she's fucking whatever, the return of Jesus Costa Rican Christ, and what? Or based on, well, see, Halloween Ends had no Michael Myers, so maybe the third one will have no exorcism and no possessed. It'll be radiant in therapy for an hour and a half to an hour and 45 minutes. In the last 50 minutes, we'll have some fast exorcism. But yeah, it is what it is. I thought it looked lame. If you liked it, to each their own. If you look forward to it, cool, to each their own. It's just not for me. But hey, thanks for watching. Take care. We'll see you guys later. Bye-bye.